memorized all the sequences for entering the code. When it was late at night, he quietly slipped out of the cage, then entered the password accurately, immediately followed by the staff passage to the roof of the zoo shed, and finally slipped quietly out of the shelter along the roof of the shed. However, Caesar was not trying to escape. Rather, he sneaked into the former owner's house in the night. He then opened the refrigerator in the corner. Inside were several bottles of modified neurotoxin. Caesar knew that this virus could produce evolution in chimpanzees, so he took the virus samples straight through to the shelter, then released the virus all while the chimps were sleeping. Soon after the night had passed, the keeper began to roughly wake up all the animals. However, what he didn't know was, today the orangutans all became very quiet, and each one's pupils turned green, and Caesar was squatting at the mouth of the passage, checking their pupils one by one. Only when they turned green would he let them out to move around, and Caesar's pupils that were already green. At this time, they had become even more turquoise. However, the curator who saw this scene was very puzzled, only to see that the normally noisy orangutans had actually gathered together in an orderly manner today. However, what can a group of animals do? So, the curator did not take this matter to heart. At night, all the orangutans returned to their cages to rest, but the keeper who was locking the cage suddenly saw Caesar standing outside alone, so he immediately asked another keeper to bring a gun. As soon as he realized the danger, he would shoot him. Just as he was about to use the electric baton to drive Caesar into the iron cage, Caesar actually grabbed the breeder's electric stick. Immediately followed by the next second. The horrifying scene in front of him not only dazzled the two keepers, even the orangutans locked in the cage were shocked. However, before they could react, Caesar didn't hesitate to punch the keeper over. He then directly dragged him to the cage and locked him up, immediately followed by releasing all of his kind in the cage. However, Caesar soon realized something was wrong. Once the humans discovered the abnormality here, he and all of his kind would once again be reduced to test subjects. Then, under Caesar's leadership, the orangutans immediately broke through the glass dome of the zoo, leading